Hello, hello.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry. Actually, I was trying since so long. There was some other problem. I see. I think.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, but now I don't know how many of them will be there. Let's see.
Yes, ma'am.
But today we will see the explanation of it. The fourth one, as per the guideline or the literal guideline, it says that there should be no spurious tuples or there shouldn't be lossless join. So there are two things. When we have ideal tables or when we have the bifurcation ideal and when we have done I mean different tables in our database properly and then we have created proper relationship with them, then that such particular relationship, when we try to retrieve the values from multiple tables with the help of joins, then in such a case the join will not create unwanted rows. So what kind of unwanted rows that might create? Those are called as spurious tuples. So unwanted tuples are called as spurious tuples. So I was just thinking you what kind of example I can give. Uh, anyways, here I was trying to give you example. Yeah. So what is meant by spurious tuples is that is because there are two qualities basically. One is when you join these two tables, there shouldn't be additional rows that get generated. And when you separate these, then there should not be uh, loss of the tuples. It is something like it's better. There is no ready-made example here. All the time I write on the board and I used to tell. Anyways,
Yes,
I'll just take one table. Okay, fine. Which database you are very much familiar with among your assignment journal programs?
customer.
Customer, yes. So we have customer and item table. We'll take the example of that. So I'll just I'll take a new share and I'll better take you to the Word file. This Word file also I wanted to share you. I'll take a new document here. Anyways, so here suppose I take a table and this table is suppose customer table.
Ma'am, the screen is black.
Okay, sorry. Is this visible now?
Yes, ma'am. Now it is visible.
So customer table is there, and in the customer table, suppose you have CID, and I'll just take CNAME. Now in the CID, I have C01, and then I have AAA, and then I have C02. I'll take only two examples to save time. Now, similarly, I take another table. Here I have this item table, and then I'll just replace the C with I, and this will be I01 and this is I02. Now these are my items and this is item name. Suppose item name is pen and pencil. I'm just taking simple, sorry. So pen and pencil. Now when I say uh, purchase, suppose there is another table called as purchase. Now I want to suppose write which customer, or you can even say order. Yeah, that will be better
Yes.
exactly as per our table. So suppose there is order 1 table in which I have only customer name and item ID. Suppose item ID. So this is not lid, it is IID. And then suppose I just say this customer AAA has taken I01 and customer AAA has also taken I02. This is a common example what we have seen so many times. Suppose there
Yes,
is
ma'am.
customer 2 and then he has taken I01 again. Now, suppose I want to display customer name and the items purchased by him. I want to display customer name and item names purchased by him. In that case, now you people have become experts, so you know that we can't only take customer and items table. If I just say
Yes, ma'am.
select customer name from customer name comma item name from customer comma item, then what will happen? Because there is nothing common in them to join, then it will create a Cartesian product. Because
Yes,
until
ma'am.
unless there is a proper join, the output of this two table, if I just write my statement like this, suppose if I just say select, I want to display customer ID or customer name, comma, item name. I'll just take it from
Cause
customer, comma, item.
I
If I take like this, you know what my output is going to be? It will come like this. It will say
see
AAA pen, AAA pencil,
pencil.
BB pen, BBB pencil.
BBB
So
pencil.
it is just going to create Cartesian product. So until
Cartesian
unless we
product.
have proper join, it will not be able to create proper tuples. So now in this case, what will happen is if I don't have proper bifurcation or if I don't have proper joins, in that
Yes.
case, if I don't include this tuple, there will be 4 tuples like this. It's better I just show that also. So here I just delete. Here I have um, so I have customer name and item name, and my table will be something like this. I want to just give you the output.
Pen, pencil.
Hmm. So it's going to be like this for even BBB. It's like this. So output is going to be like this. When I join, now you can see that proper tuples are. If you look at this example, the proper which are the proper tuples? That first customer, these two are proper. Like for example, these
Yes.
two are
Yes, ma'am.
correct as per our for example.
I
Okay,
order one table.
yeah. So I will just highlight these two are proper. Similarly, BBB has taken which? Yeah, I01. So that
Like
means
pen.
this third one is also correct.
Correct.
I just color it. And this one is something wrong, which is now such kind of tuple is called as a spurious tuple. Now, what is spurious tuple? The tuple which is unwanted or the tuple which is not correct. So when we do not have proper joins, in that case, such joins will result into
Cut.
generation of spurious tuples. So what are spurious tuples? The tuples which are not valid are called as spurious tuples. Did you understand now? So this
Yes, ma'am.
BBB pencil is called as a spurious tuple. So one of the problem in not having proper joins. Now in this case, what should be the proper statement? Can you tell me what is the proper solution?
Select
It is not sufficient for me to take only these two.
only
I will also have to involve order one,
order one table.
and then I must have where,
See ID.
yeah, I will have to again give better to give aliases.
Customer
item
C,
I,
item I,
order 1, O,
O,
and then
where
where I just say
C,
O dot,
C num,
yeah, O dot
O
CID,
num, I,
CID is equal to C dot CID. Like this, I
CID.
must have other join also. So anyways, I'm not
Yes,
writing the other join, so other join also is required. So when this proper join will be there, then only I'll be able to tell which customer has given the order for which item. So whenever we have such proper joins, then only I'll be able to generate proper tuples. So sometimes when my tables are not created properly with some common field which can be joined, in that case it generates spurious tuples.
many
Is that clear?
tuples.
And then
Yes, ma'am.
also sometimes, whenever this joins, now this is a table which is caused because of the join
Join.
of these two tables. Now suppose in this case, when I bifurcate this table, it's like sometimes when I join two tables, like I'll show it the help of some annotation. I hope you understand. So I will take some shape and I'll try to show you. Suppose I want to join. So when I join two tables, something like this will be there. There may be some
Yes,
extra information in this table, in this table. We might be interested in the middle part, some common information between both the tables, something like that. So when we join, we may get some values from like this. Sometimes after the join, when we try to cut, I mean, we want to do the reverse of it. Now this is the table which is caused by the join. Like you can see
join.
this part here. Now this is
Yes, ma'am.
caused by the join. Now after this join, sometimes suppose if I want to do reverse of it. Reverse in the sense when I will split, I should be able to get back my original table.
Is the values. Yes, ma'am.
Exactly, original table. In the sense, it is something like they say, suppose you start moving from one place. Ideal is, suppose you leave from your house to Gopte College. Again, back you should go home. That means when you leave from one particular source for a destination, you should also know the other way back. When you go
Yes.
from source to destination, again from destination to source
Destination to
back,
source.
you should be able to come back. So whenever we start from some particular previous state and go into the join state, and if I want to come back to the previous state, from that join I should be able to come back. So when my join is not proper and if I try to come back, then I will not get original values when my join is not proper. If my join is ideal, I'll not be able to tell you with the example right now because it will take long time. It's not possible without writing somehow. But anyways, try to understand that when the tables are designed ideally and when they are joined, and when the join is again removed and the original tables are tried to get back from that joined state, then we should be able to get back the original tables. If we get if the tables are not ideally created and they undergo join, so in process of joining they'll create spurious tuples, and in the process of splitting back, let us call that opposite process as splitting. So when we try to split such joined tables, they will result into some loss of information. So there are two problems which are caused because of non what you can say, because of not creating the tables ideally. If the tables are not created properly, then in that case the join will result into spurious tuples and the splitting will result into loss of tuples. So I we will just stop our discussion at this. Stop in the sense, let us summarize. Coming back to our
Yes.
what you can say PPT, and let us, where is that? Yeah, I'll just go back to this to go to new share. This sometimes we struggle with this Zoom because we are not yet familiar with this, na? So I'm not getting that screen where I can share back my PPT.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. You might be seeing the blank window, right?
Ma'am, it is still like the world.
Word document. Yeah, yeah. I'll just no. So I have closed. Yeah, now it will allow me to share. Yes. Huh. So we have come back to our PPT. I hope this is visible.
Yes, ma'am. It's visible.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
So in this case, what has happened is, yeah. So bad designs for a relational database may result in erroneous result for certain join operation. The lossless join property is used to guarantee meaningful results for join operation. So whenever we join the data from two tables, it should ensure lossless join. No data should be lost in the process of joining. And also, no spurious tuple should be generated by a natural join
Doing
of any relation. So there should be, the tables only should be so ideally designed that there will be no spurious tuple generated. So with this guideline, let us understand that two properties of decomposition: there shouldn't be loss of information and there should be preservation of functional dependency. Now what is mean by this functional dependency? Now here we start with our discussion of our normalization, and this may be a probable question even separately asked in exam. What is functional dependency? So I'll just cover this and we will stop. Just a 2-mark question. What is functional dependency? Remember, functional dependencies are used to specify goodness of relational design. So that means all the other attributes should be functionally dependent on the key attributes. What does that mean? That means, see the definition of functional dependency. Wait, I'll not use. Yeah. The definition of functional dependency goes like this. It says a set of attribute X. Sometimes it may be a single attribute or sometimes it may be a set of attributes. A set of attribute X. Now understand, X is a single attribute. Functionally determines a set of attributes Y if the value of X determines a unique value for Y. The definition, if you read it, you may not understand it. So let us
Yes,
try
ma'am.
to understand it with an example again. So easily you should understand with one more example. I'll just start with new share. I'll take this SQL screen only. Can you see word file?
Yes, ma'am.
So suppose what I was trying to tell you there, it was about
Single attribute X, Y.
functional dependency. So functional dependency, now we have a table called a student. Now in student table we have roll number,
Roll
we have
number, name,
name, we have address,
city.
we may have
Yes.
city, yeah, whatever. So now tell me, whenever I have roll number 1, I'll write Asha. Address of Asha is suppose RC Nagar and city is Belgaum. Now this here, what it is called as, this name, address and city are said to be functionally dependent on roll number.
Roll number.
Okay, just try to understand my sentence. The name attribute, address attribute and city, these three attributes are said to be functionally dependent on the attribute roll number. What does that mean? That means roll number functionally determines name, address and city. So what does that mean? Let us see with suppose, so it is Tilakwadi and again Belgaum. Now suppose when I take roll number 1 I will tell that who is roll number 1. I will say Asha is
Asha.
roll number 1. When I say what is roll number 1 city, I'll be able to say Belgaum.
Bell.
Now, let me take one more student here. 3. It may be possible. There may be 2 girls with the same
Two.
name.
Same name.
Let us assume that they at least differ in the surname. Even that coincidence might be there, but still,
Yes, ma'am.
let us assume that they differ in surname. So this is simply Asha and this is Asha K, who stays in suppose Vadgaon. I'll just write a shortcut. Now, when I say roll number 1, then I'll be able to tell that roll number 1 stays in RC Nagar. If I simply ask where does Asha stay, will I be able to tell where does Asha stay? Suppose both the
No,
Asha names
ma'am.
are Asha. No, because there will be a confusion. Why? Now in this case, I can say roll number is a field which functionally determines other values. I can't say name is a field which cannot functionally determine other field. That means always remember roll number. Okay, let us put it in the familiar terms. Roll number is a primary key. Always in every table, remember that all other attributes in a table will be functionally dependent on roll number. That means mathematically it is something. When I say roll number 1, I will never get confused because roll number is something which is very, very unique to each and every student. When I say roll number 1, I will not get confused. I will straight away say whatever details are required for that roll number. If someone asks me what are roll number 1's attendance, I will not get confused. I will correctly, I will go and I'll tell what is roll number 1's attendance. But if they say Asha, then get confused. Which Asha?
Confused.
What is the roll number? Suppose, let us assume that the names exactly match. Then the only way to understand which Asha is by the roll number. Then
Roll
I will
number.
have to ask the parents, what is the roll number? You tell me first. Don't tell the name because names are repeating. So, like this, in every table, there will be one attribute which is called as primary key, which will functionally determine other attributes. So, mathematically, it is put like this. Mathematically, it is put like this. They say T1, if T1 is equal to T2, oh, or it is like this. T1 of x is equal to T2 of x, then it is a must that T1 of y is equal to T2 of y. This is how in the textbook they have given the definition of functional dependency. And they say if x is a value which functionally determines y. So they say, they put like this, x functionally determines y, or they also say, so let us write here, x functionally determines y, or it is also written y is functionally dependent on x. Both these statement means the same. Can you have to be familiar with this statement now. What do I want to say? That x is the attribute on which y depends. So x is a
Dependent.
primary key. So here you can understand x is nothing but the roll number. And y is a group of attribute. It may be name, it may be address, or it
Name,
may be city.
address, city.
So all other attributes are, so we call this relationship like this. X functionally determines Y. Y means X functional, roll number functionally determines name, roll number functionally
Yeah,
determines address, roll number functionally determines city. Or we
city.
can say all these three together are functionally dependent on roll
Dependent
number.
on
So
roll.
we may call like this, Y is functionally dependent on X. When when do we say this, that this is there exists a functional dependency? So as you know
If
that SQL has a base in algebra or mathematics. So the definition is put mathematically like this. If T1 of X is equal to T2 of X, then definitely T1 of Y must be equal to T2 of Y. That means what? That means suppose if someone says roll number 1, suppose Asmita ma'am comes with roll number 1, and then I also come with roll number 1. That means what? This is suppose T1. T1 means tuple 1. And let us say that this is tuple 2. Now T1 of X. X means what? The attribute which is functionally going to determine. So as we know that X is nothing but the roll number. So T1 ka roll number, if it is equal to T2 ka roll number. So when I say, when I come with, when Asmita ma'am comes with T1, that is roll number 1, and I also come with another tuple
roll number.
number 1. What will be the details of my tuple here? Because
Same
I,
as
because I also I'm going to refer to roll number 1.
same.
So the
Yeah.
details must be same. This is what this mathematical expression says. If there are two tuples, and in these two tuples, if T1 of X, that means if there is one tuple whose roll number is equal to another tuple's roll number, that means this roll number will be same only when this I refer to the same tuple. That means, in other words, in simple words, this is mathematically put like this, but in other words, it is said that in a table, the value which is functionally going to determine other values will have unique value for every tuple. Clear? So when
Yes, ma'am.
you try to understand yourself, if in any two tuples, if X value is same, that means if roll numbers are same, definitely that means that indicates that the person is the same. Got it? If Priya ma'am comes
Yes.
with roll number
Number
474,
one.
and if Asmita
Hmm.
ma'am comes with roll number 474, definitely both
Then
are going to refer to the same
same.
person. So this is
Yes,
the
ma'am.
meaning of this definition. Got it? So functional
Yes, ma'am.
dependency means, functional dependency means there should be one such attribute, okay, which determines other attributes when this particular property holds. That means that particular attribute will always have unique value for every tuple. No two tuples will have same value for that attribute. That means no two tuples will have same roll number, isn't it?
Same roll
They
numbers.
may have
Yes,
same
ma'am.
name, have same address,
Name,
they may have
address,
same
city,
city also. Okay,
but
by
not
chance
roll
there
number.
may be Asha who stays in Archie Nagar only and in Belgaum only, but those two Ashas may be differed only by the roll number. Got it? This is called as functional
Yes.
dependency. When asked in exam, what you will have to write? You will have to write this definition. This. What is the definition of functional dependency? This. X functionally determines Y holds if whenever two tuples have the same value for X, they must have the same value for
Same value.
Y.
Y.
So this is mathematically put like this. For any two tuples T1 and T2 in any relation instance R of R, if T1 of X is equal to T2 of X, then definitely T1 of Y must be equal to T2 of Y. Got it? So this
Yes,
is
ma'am.
how functional dependency. So functional dependency holds like this. For example, when I take social security, sometimes this X in our previous example, sometimes this X may be a single attribute. Sorry, I just went back to the, yeah. Now when I said roll number is a single attribute, isn't it?
Yes,
It's
ma'am.
a simple primary key. Uh, but you know, sometimes the primary key is also composite. Okay, in our student table, our primary key is normal. That is, it is just a roll number. Okay, let us not
One.
go
Yes, ma'am.
into, yeah. So in this case, it is something like this. I have SSN number which determines employee name. So SSN number is a primary key
name.
which functionally determines E name. But in case
E
of
employee
project,
name.
yeah, project number also, project number, when I know project number, I can definitely tell what is the project name and what is the
Project
project
name, project
location. Got it?
location.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Let us stop here only because the next example, if I take again, it is going to confuse you all. So let us see this example in the next class about the composite
Yes.
primary key. Okay. Right now, so let us brush up what we covered. We covered the fourth informal guideline that the table should be designed in such a way that, yeah, fourth one. Yeah, guideline 4 says the relation should be designed to satisfy the lossless join condition.
Lossless join condition.
So when the tables are designed, they should be ideally designed so that when they are joined, they should not have loss of information, or they should not generate new extra information.
Students.
So it is something like when we teach you something, so you should not lose any information. Whatever we have taught, everything you should remember. And second,
Yes, ma'am.
whatever we have taught, the message should go as it is. Sometimes students write unwanted extra things, isn't it? So these can be
Yes,
considered to spurious tuples. So your answer
yes,
should
ma'am.
not have spurious tuples, neither they should
Apples,
have loss of information.
loss of information.
Yeah, so that is the fourth guideline what we have followed. Then we saw the definition of functional
Functional
dependencies.
dependency.
Yeah, so functional dependency is written like this. A set of attribute X functionally determines a set of attribute Y if the value of X determines unique value for Y. So this
Why?
is the definition. Mathematically, it should be written like this. Even if you can't write this all, you can just simply write this expression. T1 of X, if T1 of X equal to T2 of X, then T1 of Y is equal to T2 of Y.
Is equal to T2 of Y.
Yeah, this is sufficient. And then you can write any example. In case of company database, this is the example SSN functionally determines E name. Or
E
you
name.
can write the example just now what we saw. Roll number functionally determines name.
Name.
Student name, you can write S name. So this example also you can write in exam. So this is normally a frequently asked question. What is functional dependency for 2 marks? And sometimes they even ask the informal guidelines for relation. And sometimes when they ask normalization, now we are going to see that from the next class. In the first normal form itself, the normal form talks about functional dependency, or even the second and third normal forms also talk about functional dependency in little more detailed manner. So what are those details? Those are called as full functional dependency or partial dependency. All that we will learn in the next class. Okay, so we
Yes,
will
ma'am.
stop now. Tomorrow we will have class in the morning only at 11:30. Fine?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, okay. Then let's stop now.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.